Hey guys, welcome back to Pristine Reads. Today I'm going to give you my super spoiler review of Redwall by Brian Jacks. This video is the super spoiler one, so if you don't want any spoilers, because this is going to give a super in-depth review of this book, then check out my no spoilers video. That being said, let's jump straight to it. So first I'm going to give you an overall view of the plot line. In the summary, again, super detailed. I'm going to go through pretty much every major scene in this book. So, hang on. So this book opens with our main protagonist, Matthias, and Matthias is a mouse. He's young, good-hearted, and shy. We meet him as he starts his training to be a brother in this order of brother and sisters that live in the fictional Redwall Abbey set in the fictional Mossflower Forest. So we meet Matthias as he's preparing for Abbot Mortimer, and Abbot Mortimer is the leader of Redwall Abbey and their whole order of brothers and sisters. They're preparing for Abbot Mortimer's Golden Jubilee Feast to celebrate an anniversary of his leadership. So we meet Matthias as he's preparing, and there's this really festive atmosphere and cheerfulness at Redwall as they have this feast. And then later, after this feast, Matthias and his friend Constance the Badger take home a couple families of mice because they live outside of Redwall Abbey. And the mice in Redwall invited the mice outside Redwall to come in and join them for this feast. So Matthias and his friend Constance are both taking the mice to their homes when Constance suddenly senses danger and kicks the mice off the road. And they hide in the ditch and see a band of rats and ferrets, stoats, and weasels barreling past them on this wagon. And they're led by Clooney the Scourge, although they don't know that it's him at the time. Clooney is a fearsome war rat that is nicknamed the Scourge because he has a long whip-like tail with a poisonous barb at the end. So they witness this, and panicking, they go back to the Abbey quickly after the rats have passed and continued on. So they go back to the Abbey and have a total panic because nobody has ever seen them before, except somebody from the Abbey actually has, and they look through the records and find out that Clooney is called Clooney the Scourge. So, now they know that they're in big trouble because Clooney and his horde are camped at a church called St. Ninian's, which is really close to the Abbey, too close for their comfort. So Clooney eventually shows up and he declares war on the mice of Redwall. Then they enter into this back and forth where Clooney and his horde are trying to defeat the mice and conquer Redwall, but the mice are always finding creative ways to outsmart Clooney and his horde and beat them. So Clooney starts to get really mad, and he starts to take even more drastic measures to stop the mice. So he starts trying to tunnel into the Abbey, batter down their gates and their walls, trying to set fire to them, that kind of stuff. And so Matthias starts panicking because their Abbey is taking some pretty big hits. So he tries to go and search out for help, but it's really hard to leave the Abbey because Clooney and his horde are laying siege to it. So Matthias finds out about this legend called the Sword of Martin the Warrior. Martin the Warrior was the founder of their Abbey, and he was said to own this sword. And this sword is said to be crafted from a fallen star by a badger lord, and is said to be the sharpest sword in all history. So Matthias goes on a quest to find the sword, finding clues, riddles, and puzzles laid along the way by Martin the Warrior. This treasure hunt takes him outside of the Abbey. He sneakily manages to slip past Clooney and his horde, and he goes on many adventures along the way, which include meeting some shrews, a great snowy owl, even a huge barn cat, and a giant poisonous serpent, which is where Matthias eventually finds the sword. he kills the serpent and brings the old sword back to the Abbey, but Clooney and his horde have found a way into the Abbey, and they are getting ready to kill Abbot Mortimer and every one of Matthias's friends that are in the Abbey. But Matthias appears just in the nick of time to defeat Clooney and kill him. And the way Matthias kills him is that he uses the sword to slice through this giant bell at the top of the Abbey's bell tower. And Clooney, unfortunately, happens to be standing under this giant bell. And when the bell falls, Clooney is gone. He met an unfortunate ending. So that was my plot summary, and now I'm going to give you my outline of the morals of this book. So first up is Christian beliefs / other worldviews. I did find that the whole thing of brothers and sisters in the Abbey sounded a bit monastery-like, but I didn't find anything else specifically Christian there. And one theme I do find recurring in the Redwall series is that the main characters, in this case it was Matthias, receive some kind of guiding visions from Martin the Warrior to lead them to the object of their quest, whether it's a physical thing or an animal, a place, that kind of stuff. So Martin the Warrior gives them visions and dreams of a riddle leading to this thing they need to find. Although there's nothing specifically occultish about it, just the theme of guiding visions and dreams. So next is foul language. Another theme, again, I do find recurring in the Redwall series is that the main antagonists like to insult each other and the good guys with lots of insults such as moron, idiot, stupid, that kind of stuff. There are 2 bad words, so please look in the description below for more details. Next is violence. Jax does very vivid descriptions of the battles that happen in this book, as well as the pain the characters have to endure. There's nothing too gory or extreme, just a lot of killing. So if you're sensitive with that, I would advise mild caution. So next is romance. There's little to zero in this book. The only thing is Matthias's girlfriend Cornflower, and even then she didn't play a very big role in the story. They got married at the end of the book anyways, so there was nothing inappropriate. Yeah, so that's my morals and my guidelines. Now I'm gonna give you my recommended age level and my rating. So I'm gonna rate this 4 out of 5 stars. It is a pretty good book. It's the first big novel I read when I was 7 or 8, and I think this book really helped me start reading more, and I went on to bigger and bigger books. So this book really helped start my love of reading, and maybe if you're a parent watching this and you have a child who's maybe a little bit unsure about reading and you want to give them that little kickstart to their reading adventures, then I would advise this book. But again, have caution and please use discretion. So I say the recommended age level for this would be 10 plus. Again, if you're a parent watching this, use discretion and judgment based on your child's understanding, maturity, and age. So yeah, enjoy. So the covers have changed since I got this book. There are many different editions now. In the description, I have placed links to Redwall on Amazon, Random House, and the Redwall series website. So if you're looking to pick up a copy of this, it will probably look different than the one I'm holding. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy!
Oh yes, the catering staff. Humph. The other injured warrior here and myself would be greatly obliged for a little sustenance. Nothing too grand, you know. Just something for a poor wounded tit to nibble on. Got to keep body and fur together, what?
Very good, Mr. Stag, sir. 2 bowls of gruel coming right up.
Gruel? Gruel? What do you mean, gruel? What sort of slop is that to give renowned warriors, eh? We want to be cured, not killed. Now listen to me, you pair of scullery fusiliers. I want a decent brunch. 6 boiled eggs, some crisp summer salad, 2 loaves of hot bread, 2 hazelnut cream junkets, 2, no, better make it 4 oven-baked apple pies. Oh, and chuck in some of those medium-sized quince tarts if you see any lying about. Well, don't just stand there with your great jaw flapping. Cut it along now, quick as you like.
You forgot the October Nut Brown Ale, sir.
Good Lord, so I did. Just 4 flagons, thank you, my good mouse. Strange creatures. Blowed if I can see anything funny about a couple of heroes wanting to be fed so that they can stay alive. Takes all kinds to make a world, young feather. Other ranks included.